So, okay, what is this aircraft we're standing in front of here?
Well, this is the SR-71 aircraft. This particular airplane was brought here last fall to the Armament Museum after the Air Force decided to stop operations with the SR-71 fleet altogether. This particular airplane was particularly modified to do some R&D work, additional payload, and so on. See the difference between this and the regular standard production airplane. But the boat tail is considerably larger and longer than the standard production boat tail. SR-71 was an airplane that I worked on out at the Air Force Flight Test Center in Edwards, 1963 to 1966. I was the chief engineer for the Air Force and also flew some. I did not fly in this particular airplane. We had some of the earlier models.
It was called the F-12 then?
The F-12 was the interceptor version. Three of those were built to do some R&D work on advanced air-to-air airplanes, primarily air defense purposes. F-12 was never produced beyond those three prototype airplanes.
I see. And what is the speed capability of this plane?
The airspeed, this airplane holds the speed and altitude records for world speed and altitude records.
To this day?
To this day. The records were set in 1965, absolute speed and absolute altitude. And it's over 2,000 miles an hour and
wow.
Over 80,000 feet altitude.
80,000 feet. Is that the typical altitude, or is that just the
good primary cruise altitude?
I see. Could you describe these engines back here that are very huge and monstrous looking?
These engines were very much advanced for their time. They're really late 1950s technology. They were 30,000 pounds thrust, built by Pratt & Whitney. Similar engines built by General Electric, one in the old XB-70 airplane that the Air Force experimented with for high-speed, high-altitude bomber. Airplanes or the engines were designed to operate at high altitude. You see a lot of opportunities for airflow because it's hard to get the engine thrust out of the engines at high altitude. They're afterburning engines and use afterburner on takeoff, climb to altitude, and minimum afterburner on cruise to keep the fuel consumption down.
Does that add to the thrust, the afterburner there?
It adds about a third to the standard thrust of the engine.
How does that operate? Does it just add fuel or add air mixture into the exhaust?
The afterburner is just about the way it's by title. The original burning, primary burning goes on up in the front part of the engine. That's where you get most of your thrust. However, you can dump fuel in the airflow after the original burning and get that fuel to burn and provide some additional thrust. It's not as efficient as the main burning.
Maybe you could show us the afterburner so we can...
We'll do that when we walk around the back end of the airplane.
Okay.
And walking around, seeing this front part of the airplane was designed to carry payloads, reconnaissance payloads, cameras, radars, IR functions, etc. to do reconnaissance work. The glass in the windshield, the pilot's windshield is specially designed to take the heat that occurs there when you're going high at speed. The two little windows behind the pilot's cockpit were back where the observer sat, and those were my windows when I was flying test missions.
Did you record any information from the things that you saw out of the windows there?
I couldn't see very much. It's a very, very dim view of the world. However, a couple times I looked out when we were on speed and altitude, and we were high enough to see that the the world is round because you can look out to the horizon and see that the horizon is curved.
Wow. Could you see the ground going by there too, or are you too high?
No, too high.
Hmm.
You can see some clouds going by once in a while. One day over Amarillo, about at the end of our outward bound leg, and looked out in the summertime, and here was a thunderhead sitting up there about where we were at 75,000 feet. So anybody thinks that the thunderheads don't boil up out there in the desert, they're wrong. They go
Wow.
extremely high altitude. It's pretty spectacular.
You probably passed it in a hurry too, huh?
Yeah, we were glad not to be at lower altitude. So it looked pretty good. Most of the airplane was getting over the fuel. Took a lot of gas to fly the machine.
Yeah.
Special fuel required. I said gas, but it's a special fuel required to keep the sweet fuel was able to take the high temperatures that are involved in the airplane without exploding.
What type of fuel is that?
It's a special jet fuel.
For this type of engine?
For this type of engine.
Yeah.
Looking at the engine from the cylindrical assembly here travels back and forth. The schedule is based on the Mach and air requirements to keep the engine operating at high efficiency. But it does go forward and backward due to the throttling.
I see. So this conical thing moves in and out of the engine then to.
Goes forward and backwards.
And
you can see that the maximum diameter of the cylinder is right about here, about where the engine itself takes it.
Oh yeah. It looks like it only varies with a couple of inches at the most.
But it's very, very tricky design. And that was hardest part of the design work on the airplane was to get those curvature just right, get those nacelles, the schedule just right. Very, very, very difficult to make that design just come out perfect.
How many different engines do you think they went through to come up with that design?
The engine stayed the same, but it was a lot of different shapes on that nacelle area, and some changing inside the engine cell itself to make the airflow come out to be non-turbulent.
Was that data part of some of the work that you were doing? Is supplying that data?
Yeah, the test data. Notice up on the verticals where the airplane number is. Those are very large, and they're large because when you're flying at high altitudes, the air is so thin that you don't have much to work against.
Right.
Maintain directional control and be able to train the airplane. End up with some large control surfaces. The limits of the air at high altitude.
You mean that they're large in a
large
in a width sense, or they're large in a
lot of
total dimension?
A lot of surface area.
Right. Yeah.
And everything above that horizontal line up there moves.
Everything above the line. Oh, I see. Okay. Three or four hinges on there, I guess. They move back and forth or just sideways?
Sideways.
Oh, okay.
Rotate like this.
And this is the afterburner here?
Beginning of the afterburner, you see those big suck-in doors there.
Yeah.
They're in now. They aren't necessarily in when you're flying. They schedule based on the airflow requirements.
Now you said this tail section here was elongated, or do you want to cover the engine first?
Either way, the boat tail normally goes around here. This additional area was put on so they could put more payload back there and extend the usefulness of the airplane as far as running test missions and to demonstrate that they could carry sufficient payload to wanted to modify the airplane to do that.
So they actually loaded up this tail section then with payload?
Yeah,
I see.
with payload.
Okay.
Looking at the aft end of the engine here. That's 4 feet diameter, maybe a little bit bigger. These tail feathers can be closed up and pull open now. Be closed up to maximize the thrust coming out of there. The more you restrict the flow, the better the efficiency.
Right. So practically the whole engine could be opened or closed to control the efficiency then?
Right.
Pretty intimidating looking engine there.
Yeah, it was an advanced engine at the time, strictly a development item. It never was used as is on another airplane, but the technology that came out of this development has been used on a lot of airplanes since then.
For example, the fighter planes that are...
Yeah, fighter airplanes and commercial airplanes. This was a lot of thrust at its time, but there are commercial airplanes flying now with more thrust in these engines.
More thrust in these engines?
Yeah, and a smaller package.
Right.
Because we've learned a lot since then. But it's called, technical standpoint, it was high bypass ratio engine, which has to do with the airflow around the engine.
Yeah. Now, is there any reason why is this airplane designed strictly? I mean, is it designed to look mean, or is it designed to just follow its function pretty much?
Well, it was designed just to be from a functional standpoint. By doing that, this is how it came about. In general terms, if the design in the airplane business, if a design looks good, as this one does, then it is good. The general rule of thumb.
Right.
Ugly airplanes don't fly very well, but good-looking airplanes nearly always do. But it was designed to keep the drag low, the airframe, keep the drag low, and to keep the observability low, particularly the radar observability. That's why you see all the lines are very smooth, no right angles that could trap the radar waves and reflect them back. And as a consequence, it had a very low radar cross-section.
Right.
And this equates to being able to do the mission against some tough threat environments and survive.
Right. None of these were ever shot down or threatened in any way?
No, they were shot at in Vietnam for sure, and maybe some other places, but they did a lot of reconnaissance work in Vietnam.
They did?
Over these airplanes, over North Vietnam, and over a pretty heavy threat environment, and nobody even came close to scratching.
And this was strictly a reconnaissance airplane?
Strictly reconnaissance. Gather the data and bring them home. To build the airplane, it took a whole lot of research into working with some tough materials like titanium. It's hard to machine, hard to form.
Yeah.
And some advanced composite work, and we're talking work that was done back in the early 1960s. And it broke back out some of the barriers that existed on how to build an airplane out of exotic materials.
Is the skin titanium now, or is it?
A lot of titanium in the skin, yeah.
Is that just because of the stresses that were on the plane while it was flying?
Weight, temperature. It encounters temperature beyond what aluminum will take.
Right.
Aluminum airplanes are generally constrained to fly less than Mach 2.5, maybe 2.
And what was the speed in Machs on this one?
Over 3.
Over Mach.
So it went through a heat barrier that was over Mach 2.
Right.
It went through that heat barrier based on it being able to use titanium.
That's a quite expensive metal.
Quite expensive. Incidentally, at that time, a lot of the titanium that went into the airplane came from the Soviet Union.
I see.
because they were a primary source in the world at the time.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Were these flown over the Soviet Union at all?
Do not know that. They were designed to fly over the Soviet Union. Range requirements, altitude, etc., were designed against the Soviet Union geography and the threat.
Right.
And whether or not it was ever flown over the Soviet side, I do not know.
How does this relate to the U-2 at all?
It's will fly much faster and higher.
Uh-huh.
It was a successor to the U-2.
Right.
And the primary advantage it had was, well, it's better sensors, but it was the speed and altitude for the survival standpoint.
I hear that these the cameras that were held on this plane could read a newspaper on the ground from 80,000 feet.
That's pretty high resolution, yeah.
Uh-huh. Better than this video camera, probably.
Considerably.
Yeah.
But it's similar quality to things that are being used from satellites now. You get good photo resolution from satellites anymore, so
Uh-huh.
camera technologies come along pretty far.
Are those cameras designed by Air Force type contractors, or are
Probably
they?
joint operation.
Right.
Air Force people and the contractor world.
Right. It's quite a machine.
Yeah. Because they were built for the job it had to do, and there's nothing around that will do any better.